Okay, so in order to activate a keyboard for use with all these apps, when you first install the app that actually handles the controller input like USB, Bluetooth, joystick center, you have to go into your main device settings, not the settings for the application, but the main device settings. This might depend on your device and your device version, but there should be something called language and input or something like it, and in there you have an option that's called configure input methods. And the first thing you want to do then is to make sure that all these well, you're only going to have one of these, but you basically have one entry for each of the keyboards that have been installed. So for instance, if you have installed USB joystick, USB BT joystick center, you're going to have an option in here called USB Joy IME. So you're going to want to make sure that this one is checked, and it gives you a warning that should frankly be removed because it's sort of like a crying wolf, but just select OK. And you can also see that I have others in here like Wii controller and 6-axis controller. So for each new app you install that handles a game controller, you have to make sure that you have checked these boxes, otherwise the keyboards or the app options won't even appear when you go to select your keyboard. And then every time you actually want to use an app, let me go into USB Bluetooth Joystick Center here for a second. You won't find any controllers right now because, well, I don't have any connected, but normally these apps have an option that says something along the lines of IME or select keyboard input or something like that. So in this case it's called IME, and as long as I have activated it with the checkbox I just showed you, it should now show up in this list of keyboards. And so I select USB Joy IME, and that basically gives the app the permission to give the operating system keyboard inputs. So if I just go into anything where I can input text, my soft keyboard will now not appear because my soft keyboard has been replaced by USB IME. So basically that means that you can, for instance, text or answer emails or anything like that while using this method until you stop using your controller and switch back to your original keyboard, in which case it will pop back up. So that's just something to be aware of, because this does sort of disable your main keyboard while you're using the game controller, but that's just something you have to live with. So just for the fun of it, let's take a look at how what the option is called in some other apps. This is 6-axis controller, so in this case you have change IME, and then I would select 6-axis controller to use this app. And finally, if I can find V controller in there somewhere, I really have too many apps. It's in this app it's called select V controller IME, and then I would select V controller IME. So these apps normally give you a direct link to open the keyboard selection screen. If not, then you have to go into settings, language and input, and then current input methods. But as I said, the apps won't even appear in this list until you have enabled them in this list. But this is a one-time thing when you install the application, while actually switching between the keyboards is something you have to do every time you want to use the game controller.